Okay, welcome back. This is my second video. This is the starter reassembly. I accidentally pressed stop on my last video and it stopped it, so I had to start a whole new video. I might be able to edit that together, but I don't know because I'm not a videographer. But anyway, so I was cleaning the old, I have the old, this is the starter that I've taken apart out of my 96 Mercury Jet boat. It's a 120. I have really no other experience with taking apart a starter other than I know in theory how it's supposed to work as far as motors go. This part here, it's called something with a C, a commutator or something like that. I don't know. I've never heard anybody speak it. I just have read it. All I've done is read a lot about engines, but these are my brushes in this cap, and all of these perforations here. The brushes hit these perforations and go from positive to negative, positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, negative, and then it interacts somehow with the magnet and it turns this motor. This was pretty carbonized up. I don't know if it should ever look totally copper, or if there should be a little discoloration. I tried an emery cloth. I tried a wire brush. It's not a very stiff wire brush. It's really kind of flexible. It's more like a brass brush. That wasn't really getting it, so I took a really small piece of sandpaper and I'm just trying to sort of clean it up. I don't know if I'm supposed to. I was trying to hold it upside down so if any sand particles didn't fall in there. Ideally, I'd like to have a thing of compressed air that I could blow this out, but I don't have that. So I've got it pretty cleaned up. I don't have anything small enough to get in between these grooves here, so I'm just gonna kind of hold it upside down and give it one last cleaning. Oops, I can't get a video there. And hopefully I don't get any shavings. It's gonna mess this up. Now, I've never taken the end off, so I don't know if this looks good or not. I'm concerned because I think, move this here, that there's a copper there's discoloration on this copper wire. It's almost gold. I don't think that's the way it came, but I don't know. And my light is not cooperating. There we go. And I've ohmed it out, and I'm not getting. It's reading fine, but I think it's grounded right to the cabinet. So in theory, I should ohm out right on this screw into the cabinet, and I should have, if I got a good connection on this, I should have like no ohms or a low ohm reading. And it's hard to say because I don't know how well I'm getting my leads on here. I got a good connection. That's good. I looked at my email and I hadn't heard back from the marine store about a rebuilt kit. I'm half tempted to go up to Napa and just see if they've got any brushes like this, but I don't know if they do, and I'm eager to get this back in the boat. So if you look at my other video, I had cleaned everything up really good. I think I will give the tops of these brushes a little clean, just a slight. Get any residue off of there. I think they look in good shape. This Mercury engine supposedly only had 126 hours on it. I don't know if that's true. It's a 96. It's kind of hard to believe, but I know it's the original starter. We started it a lot last Saturday, probably 30 times because my son was tubing, and I just shut it off every time we switched, or, you know, it was the first time out. Now that brush's got some grooves in it. And like I said, I don't know if you saw the other video, I found this little plastic piece. It's a little white tee that looks like it's got a little tail, and it looks like it's been bent. And that just fell out when I opened it up. I have no idea what that is. I'm just going to give these brushes just a little shining up. I don't even know if these are the brushes, but that's what I've heard it called. And it looks like the grooves. Just gonna give these all a little cleaning. I did ohm out all the brushes and check the connections, and they all looked all very low ohms, like none. So I don't have a burnt wire. I was afraid that I burnt this wire, the one that goes to this back bolt here, and I have all this discoloration on the end cap too. I don't know if that's normal. Like I said, I'm new to this. I have really no idea what I'm doing. Oh, one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go from here to my cabinet case and see. This is where the positives be. I should not have any continuity through here, and I don't. And then I want to make sure I don't have any continuity. Well, I wouldn't if I just did that, but wait, what's that? That's interesting. I shouldn't have, oh, it's touching the cabinet. Never mind. Okay, that's open. I'm just going to go from here to this one. Show that back in there. Just to see if that wire's good. That's good. So, everything looks good. Now, the trick is to get the this part back on here without these brushes coming out. So I'm gonna try. I have to take my gloves off for this because I can't. My hands are sweaty. All these springs do is hold these up against the motor bottom. I know I'm not using the right term, but these all twisted together. I'm sure if I upload this, I'm going to get a million comments like I might not. I shouldn't be so negative. Of people telling me that's the blah, 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 and that's this and that, but I'm not. I'm going to ignore those because I'm just trying to save some money. I spent all my money on the purchase of the boat, and I'm pretty mechanical. And I'm not to say that I want to take any jobs away from marine mechanics, because there's a lot of marine mechanics out there that I'm friends with, and I don't want to take anything away. So this is not a technical video by any means. This is like is about as non-technical as you can get. So anyway, this is very hard to keep these in here. So I'm going to have to come up with a plan, unless I can shove this on here. I need like another hand. I wonder if I can put this on here first and then put my case on there. Oh, God, if this to just go in here. Let's see. Oh, see, I can't get all of my... This is important step, because those brushes have to align correctly, or this will not work. Dang, I think I got it. I think that's in there. Now, I'm just going to line up my holes there. Oh shoot, I have to have the black part on there. Dang it! That's not going to work. Crap. Okay, so I gotta start. I have to... Oh God, here's another plastic thing. I wonder where those went. There's two of them and they're bent, like they were spinning or holding something that was spinning, but I don't know where they came from. Like, if this was spinning this way, it would be like, I don't know which way this thing spins now, but dang it. It's like they go somewhere in here. Shit. I don't know when that fell out. Let's see. Well, I might have to go down to Napa and ask them. Maybe it just... I don't know where those went. I'm not seeing any kind of groove that they went in. This was on here, and this, like it, I feel like, oh, maybe it keeps it centered in this once you put this on here. So, this is my top. This is wild. This thing will just, don't hold your hand here, because I found that out earlier. This has magnets and just sucks it right in there. Dang. And I didn't have the camera on earlier, but I pinched my hand right in there. So there's these two holes, and they gotta line up with the grooves here. And I bet you these plastic things were in here to hold this perfectly centered. But I don't know how to put those back now. But my guess, they're centering bushings, so that that piece in there doesn't hit something. Yeah, because like can wobble around. Oh no. So let's see. And there's a knot. There's a notch right there. And I feel like there's going to be a notch on here that I got to line something up with. So this notch is just a step away from that hole. It's got to be this one right here. So that's going to go in like that. Ah. Where are you? Right there. I feel like that's it. I don't know. If I gotta do anything? So I should just push in there, or just gonna, probably has to be completely centered and it'll go in there. feel like I got it, the holes aligned. And maybe I just could tap it down. Or maybe when I get this on there, I can tap it down. If those plastic pieces went anywhere, I don't know how I'd put them in there. Okay, so I'm just moving on with that. Now, I gotta get this thing back in here, and I got a big stud coming out here, so it's even more difficult because it's not going to be level. I'm going to have to come up with something to hold these down while I put that in there. Be right back. Okay, so this is what I've kind of come up with. This is a spatula. Before I cut a notch in here, I just want to check. The other thing I had to do was I had to put a bracing up here, which is not really the sturdiest. I think if I was a mechanic here, I'd have like blocks of wood and all this stuff that I could brace this up on, but I'm really not. So I have this. I've got an old octagon box here, but that's not going to work either. So I have this little bracket. That's it. First I'm going to test this before I use this old, I don't even know what that was used for, and I don't want to know. It's out here in the garage. I think it might have flipped a hamburger with it once, but I'm going to test this because I don't know if this is going to be strong enough to hold these down. These springs are pretty strong. First I gotta get them in here. So it takes a talent. Oh, this might work. But I'm afraid if I cut that, it's going to make it even more flexible. I would have to cut that one. That's definitely not going to hold it. Maybe if I cut this one, so I'm going to cut that one and see. Got these pliers from my dad for Christmas. They're supposedly a real easy Irwin. It's supposed to give you more applying pressure, so for people like me that have weak hands, you cut easy. That will work pretty good. So use this to cut wires and stuff at work. Now let's see if I still have the amount of strength on this as I did. First of all, I want to make sure this is ready to go. I believe it is, but we'll find out. Okay, so get these back in here. I have a new respect for people who rebuild solenoids, or not solenoids, starters. So I'm gonna pray that this works. I don't know if you can see all this, but and I like barely have enough to, hopefully this will fit in here. Now, I should have inspected that, but I think there's a notch in this side as well. There's a notch there. Should have probably looked at that a little closer. There's a notch there. So I'm going to go back on like this. Crap. Check that. Are we still in there? No. Okay. Hold that like that. I get my finger out of the way. Oh, dang. Okay. Now, slowly get that out. I think it's getting caught where I cut it. Come on. Oh, yeah. There we go. Bam. Okay. So, and I just gotta make sure my notch is aligned there. Feels pretty good. Now, I'm concerned because my top part's not. I don't know if I got the notch lined up right. Dang it. Okay. Let's see. Where are you? Right there, it looks like. Oh, there's a little scratch right there. That's probably to help get the thing in there. Yep. Alright, now let's look to see if there's a little scratch right here. Yeah, there is. The tiny little thing right there. That's where your little notch is, and it should line up. I don't know if you can see that. The notch in your starter. Like I said, I was watching YouTube videos on this. I really don't know what I'm doing, and hopefully I'm going to put this back in the boat and it's going to work. So what I'm trying to do is just use forces of gravity to get that back up in there. I guess I could kind of tap on it lightly with a hammer. I feel like if it doesn't go right away that I shouldn't force it. It's going down there right away. Oops. Earlier I looked at the Bendix and it looked okay. I'm sprung back. Not like super fast or anything, but it did spring back. Alright, that's just about, I think it's there. I got my bolts here. I want to clean up, there was some goop on those too. And clean the threads up just so it's easier to get started. If I was more prepared, I might put a little drop of oil on there. But like I said, you know what? There's a lot of carbon on that, so I am hoping this works. It's freaking hot, and my husband gets off work at 3 o'clock, and I want to take this boat out. We'll find out a little bit later. So I'm going to get that all off of there. It seems like pitted right there. That's weird. I didn't think that should happen. Just make sure I don't have any crap on these so that they're easier to go and I'm not fighting it. So or if I put this together right, this should, oh, yep, it's coming out right there. And I did notice that there's a little rubber washer, or, washers here that are going to seat in there. I might have, if I had some grease, I might grease those up just, I think it's just so moisture doesn't get up in there. Actually, I do have should have a little waterproof grease right here. Well, just a tiny, put a little tiny bit around. It'll protect that O-ring, keep it from deteriorating. Just a tiny bit, because all of that goes up into right by the I don't know what those are called, the brushes. Yeah. I don't want to overdo that, so I'm gonna make sure I don't have any. It's not wiping that off, wiping off any excess. I don't want to cause a problem. Okay, so that one's coming right through. Put that on here. That. I think I just want it like snug. I don't think I want to kill it. And now I don't remember if there were anything locking on that. I don't think there was, which that would be weird because you would think that water could get in, moisture could get in on that side. But I don't think there was anything locking in there. And these have O-rings, so it's not like you can't. I mean, O-rings I always thought were just snug, not cranked down upon. Now this, I want to take a look at this. This has a washer. This is where my 12 volt power comes on. This has got like a neoprene washer or something on here that prevents the 12 volt from touching this part. So I just want to make sure that's all cleaned up, giving it just a light brush. And I'm gonna check the condition of that. That looks good. Because that's my insulation between the 12 volt and the ground. God, actually, like I act like I know what I'm talking about. So this one was the one that was on here, and my 12 volt connection's gonna go on top of here, and then I'm gonna put this, and it's gonna that's the wrong size. God, what that felt weird. No, that's okay. I must have a little burr there. So that's going to be the bottom part of my 12 volt connection. I just want to snug that. And then this is going to be the top part, and the sandwiches in there. I should have probably cleaned that little guy off. So when I put this back in, that'll go on there. And then I'm just going to give this a spin here. Feels exactly the same as when I took it out, but hopefully I got everything back in there right, and it'll be all right. So this is a mounting plate, and I probably should have taken a picture of this. This is my ground here too, So you're going to want to make sure that's all good. Clean that up. So a little bit of oxidation or white stuff on there. Trying to get a surface so I'm not tearing up my good. Like that. And it's always good to do this side. I can't remember, when I put this back in the boat I'll remember, but I think this one was on here. This was facing out. This was like this. I think it was like this. And then this grounded to the block of the motor. So I'll just get that ready. And unfortunately all that's underneath the boat, so it's kind of hard to see, or not underneath the boat, but underneath the motor, so it's kind of hard to see. But I'll just get that somewhere where I think it was like that, and then I'll retighten it when I get there. So there you go. There is your starter rebuilt. It's gonna hang like this. I'm probably forgetting some stuff that a good mechanic would do. Like I don't know if that spring is springing back the way it should. But that's not the problem. This not hitting the flywheel is not the problem. But I think it's gonna. Now I don't know if I can put a little grease in there. I don't really have any lithium grease. Oh, I